everyone. Today we're here with Kyle Barnett from the Communications Department just to tell us about his background, what brought him to Oregon.
Yeah, so I am now the departmental old-timer, which is like kind of insane to me. When I got here, I got here in 2006, so that was a very different Bellman, a very different department. And I came here from the University of Texas at Austin, so my wife and I had been moving around the country to do her grad school and my grad school, and then so we're both from Indiana, and so we were hoping to get back closer to home. And so we were interviewing with all these, I was interviewing with all these schools like in Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and I was at a conference in Boston, the National Communication Association conference, and I interviewed with 5 schools in one day. And the last school of the day was this one in Louisville that I'd never heard of, that I mispronounced at the interview. I called it Bellarmine, and I interviewed with a woman named Ruth Wagner, one of the founders of the department, and she gently corrected me, and then I went down to the hotel bar and I said to my friends, I did not get that job. And then she asked me some follow-up questions, and then my friend said, we do think you got that job. And then on my flight back to Austin, Texas, there was a woman sitting next to me who somehow was a Bellarmine graduate.
That's a theme.
That was really strange. So anyway, and then so we got here, and the university's changed a bunch since then.
So yeah, how would you describe like your teaching style, and how has it like evolved over the years since
Oh.
2006?
Yeah, so my strengths are, I think my strengths are depth of knowledge and excitement about the material. My weaknesses are definitely organization. And so I think students always leave, so organization, and so I get so excited about the material, sometimes I forget just the housekeeping. You know what I mean? And so that's always where I need the work, keeping my calendar, keeping up to date in the classes, making sure that all the assignments are up to date and the quizzes are right and everything's working well and all that. So that's where my issue is.
Yes, I've had like classes with you and stuff, and we do always try to make it fun and stuff, and like not too hard in a way. So
Yeah, especially that intro class. Like some of the upper level classes. Like I'm teaching a film studies class this semester, I think it's a lot more difficult than the intro class. The intro class is like I'm trying to sort of warm them up to thinking about media. I don't want it to be too easy. I don't want it to be too hard. So I'm kind of introducing like, hey, have you ever thought about media before in these different ways? And that's kind of what we're doing.
So like, what are the other classes you're teaching besides the film one?
Oh, so this round I'm teaching 2 undergraduate classes: the Media and Society, which is sort of my bread and butter, film musicals class, which I'm not especially huge fan of film musicals, but that's a long story. I do like some of them. So I teach that, and then I'm teaching a graduate level class called Com 600, which is, I guess, sort of some version of Media and Society for grad students, basically. It's a little broader than that because it includes like all communication.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh, so I like them all in different ways, but I would say this semester the musicals class, it's been a while since I taught a film class, and I was hired originally to teach upper level undergraduate media studies classes, and I don't get to do those much anymore. So when I am able to do it, it's a real thrill. There's all these other classes I never teach who I'd love to teach. So history of radio and television, pop music and media, lots of other film classes, but the way the curriculum works now is I just don't get the chance much. So I would probably say that film class is my favorite right now. The other thing about it is one of my former students who took the class 17 years ago, I've only offered it like 3 or 4 times. He moved back to LA. He was working at Disney, and then he was working at an auction house out there as their pop culture and media expert. He is back in town. He's sitting in on the class because he did some graduate degrees and is published on musicals. So he's there too. So it's adding an extra layer of interest for me.
So, that's cool.
And I have some help in the classroom too, which is great.
Yeah, I like how you guys add all like the pop culture classes, because that's very popular like amongst our generation. Just
Sure.
all of the like media stuff, especially. So.
Yeah, I think one of the big tasks if you're a media scholar is you have to sort of keep up with what's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and you know, my wife will walk in the front room and she's like, "Why are you watching this?" I'm like, "I have to know about it." You know, so that happens sometimes.
Yeah, there's new stuff every week now. I try
Yes.
to keep up sometimes myself.
And I'm failing often. Like I'm not. My 15-year-old's more up to the minute than I am.
Yeah. So, what do you love most about like teaching and being a professor here, or just in general?
I mean, I've taught generations of folks now. I mean, I think I think the whole reason I became a professor and why I was a journalist for a little while before I was a professor was like, I want to, my message is always, there's more to this life than maybe you know, or there's more to this life than maybe you think. And that's like in terms of careers, that's in terms of media, that's in terms of culture. I want to open up possibilities for people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main driver for me. And one of the great things is like when alums come back and say, "Oh, I've been off doing this thing, I've been off doing that thing," and then I'm sort of amazed, you know. And then now I've also written and published enough that now when I go to conferences or I get invited to go to faraway places, that's kind of a benefit too. And I sometimes meet people that weren't my students but that have read my work, and that's exciting to me.
Yes, because kind of like how your student came back from LA to sit in your class, just kind of crazy,
Yeah.
like what, almost 20 years later? Yeah.
It's a weird kind of like, so I was in Hong Kong about a little over a decade ago, and I went to this this Buddhist monastery for a restaurant meeting with some former students. All of them were from mainland China or Hong Kong, and we met them in this gorgeous park where this restaurant was, and they walked around the corner. They all had Bellarmine shirts on.
In Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, yeah.
That is crazy.
So, and I ran into I gave a talk last summer, 2 summers ago in Helsinki, Finland. I got invited to give a keynote lecture there, and when I was there, I ran into a Bellarmine person as well.
The world really is a lot smaller than we think.
It is, and I love those connections. There was also a very funny moment when Bellarmine published an article back here about a comp professor attends prestigious conference, and then the university in Helsinki republished the story, which was a little embarrassing to me at the time. But it was like, now there's some folks in Helsinki that know how to pronounce Bellarmine.
So can I talk about like what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Like, so what do you hope your students take away? I think you kind of already said it,
yeah.
but like take away from your teaching.
I think our department wants like practitioners and thinkers, both, like theorists and hands-on. And all of us at one level, we teach hands-on classes and we teach studies classes. So the idea is, you know how to do the hands-on stuff, but when the world changes and the gear changes, you can change with it. That's kind of where we are, and I think that's one of our real strengths as a department. And so I want the students to know that they can change when the world changes, you know. So.
Yeah, I think all like the hands-on classes help a lot more just because I'm more like visual person, so I think a lot of people are, especially in this department, just reading it with the cameras and stuff. I think it helps being hands-on all the time.
Sadly, I've not been able to teach any video class, production classes here ever. I teach some of the audio classes, but I would love at some point to do like a video production class, but I'm in line, and there's a couple of very talented people in front of me.
Well, you hear that, Gary? Team up with him. There you go. But so how many books have you published?
Oh, so sadly just one. I could probably have 2 or 3 more in me, depending on how things go the next decade or 2. But I also I publish a lot of journal articles, and I've been in a lot of book anthologies where it's like there's an editor, and like one of my articles, one of the chapters are by me. Most of my work is on music and media, and I've written a bit about some film and radio stuff as well. Right now I'm co-writing something with a nursing professor about like one of the world's first soap operas. That was like the first nurse soap opera, basically. So I'm always into something.
Okay, so just like a last like little fun question.
Yeah.
What's like a book, movie, or like a podcast you recommend to your students right now?
Oh gosh, book, movie, or podcast. I like a lot of history podcasts. The books I'm reading lately. Oh, I know. There's a book by Chris Hayes. He's a commentator on MSNBC, and it's a book about the attention economy. So like how digital media businesses are like in the business of capturing our attention. And the title of it is currently escaping me, but it's a book by Chris Hayes on the attention economy, and how much of the daily news cycle now is really about capturing our attention.
Nice. Sounds good. Yeah, so that will be it for today. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank
very
you.
interesting story.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Bye.